back and forth, more from Teofimo's side. You approached your father. You told him something. What is it that you told him? Because I know he was trying to like get some antics towards you, and it didn't get to you.
No, I just told him about himself. He know what I said, but he got to stop being a clown, you know? Like, everybody not with the clown antics and things like that just because he want to sell a fight. It's cool to sell a fight, but I'm not fighting. Leave me alone. I'm retired.
You give yourself time to reflect and appreciate how well you've done so far in your career?
No, not at all. I hate myself for it, but it's part of it. It's just part of the life.
You've got to appreciate it as well.
I don't appreciate it. That's why.
Oh, yeah.
I don't. I think that I get butchered, and I think God punishes me a lot for it. So I'm just a punching bag to that. So one day I'll get, maybe one day, but not yet.
We appreciate you though.
Yeah. These guys appreciate it too.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I just never got my fair share. I never did. Not once, man.
The way you look at it.
Not once. But hey, that's just my journey. I guess I just never took on Baphomet, so I just gotta keep it moving.
Terence Crawford didn't need to get loud, but when Bud finally addressed Teofimo Lopez's past remarks, it hit with real weight. He wasn't speaking from anger or trying to score points. He was speaking from principle and holding the line on what's acceptable.
Every time, gotta put respect to it. To all my brothers and sisters, I love you guys. Always salute to the power that it be above. I thank you guys. I never wanted anything to harm you guys at all. So for that, my condolences to all you guys and to the slavery and everything that's ever happened mentally.
See, look, I look at it like this. It's a prime example. When life comes at you, it'll come at you in many ways, and you gotta treat it like a champ. That's it. You gotta treat it like a champ. Tell yourself it's okay. I learned from it, and I treat it like a champ every time. So if you're going through hard times in your life, whether it's from any sports or academics or anything like that, it's okay. You're still a champ.
Crawford's message was simple and direct. Talking is normal in boxing, and fighters have always used words to build a rivalry. But once that talk crosses into racial shots and stereotypes, it stops being promotion. At that point, it's no longer about selling a fight. It's just revealing who you really are.
Lopez apologized for slavery because of all of the disrespect and the racist comments he was given. Bud Crawford calling him a monkey, the N-word with the hard ER, etc., etc., etc. Who knew all Tio needed was an ass whooping? Well, Shakur gave him exactly.
And that's why the moment carried real weight. Crawford isn't just another person online giving an opinion. He's an elite, pound-for-pound level fighter who's been through every part of the sport, and he understands that what you say can come back to you once the fight becomes real.
Offended all of us, so you know exactly what you're doing. You tried to play that game, making them racist remarks, and I said I'm not feeling it. I don't like when Ryan Garcia did it. I'm not understanding that type of stuff at all. I stand firm on that. When Terence Crawford seen this after this last match, we got dominated. Shakur Stevenson put down the complete demonstration. He didn't get but one round. Terence Crawford went up. You know, they had the little situation where they was about to get into it and stuff and said, hey, they mad. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. F them. F T.O., F his daddy, F his sister, and anyone else that has a problem.
And then there's Teofimo's track record, which a lot of people haven't forgotten. Over time, he's made remarks aimed at black fighters, questioning why certain networks back them, downplaying their accomplishments, and taking jabs at their success. Those comments didn't just fade away. They built up, and by the time he finally spoke after the defeat, you could feel that history sitting in the background. Especially when he started using words like punishment and reflection, as if the loss forced him to confront more than just what happened inside the ring.
First of all, you don't joke about people's trauma. Second of all, it ain't even funny. So you know why he was doing it. He was purposefully being racist. So you get what you deserve. Tio was complaining about ESPN signing black fighters. From Devin Haney to Shakur to Shushu to Keyshawn. Ironically, they all won, and Tio is the only one that lost. They all won in impressive fashions, becoming champions, etc. Teofimo Lopez is the only one that lost in an embarrassing fact.
No matter how you feel about karma, boxing has a brutal way of settling things without debate. if you talk long enough, eventually the ring gives you the only response that matters. And once the fight started, Shakur Stevenson made sure the conversation ended right there. From the first round, it wasn't just that he was landing cleaner shots than Teofimo. He was thinking circles around him. Every little feint was set up with a purpose. Every forward burst from Lopez got redirected into a bad decision. And Shakur kept turning Teo's aggression into openings he could punish.
But nah, it was a hell of a night. Teo, he came and tried to do his best, but his best wasn't enough.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. I thought Teo, he came, he brought it, but you were just that much better. I was so impressed by the range control, the balance, the discipline in there. How did you feel in there?
I knew since the second round it was over. I went back to my corner, I told him, I said, I'm stronger than he is. And when I seen that, it just gave me more confidence, and it was my night.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you filled out really well, 140. You looked really strong in there, big. Is this your best weight class?
I don't know. I don't even know if I'm gonna be at 140. I have no clue. I'm gonna go back to the drawing board and sit down and scan myself. I'm gonna watch the fight, see how I like it, and we'll see.
Teofimo looked lost in there at times, frustrated, confused, and constantly reacting late, like he was chasing answers to a problem Shakur had already figured out before the opening bell. And that's what made it so telling. This wasn't a fight decided by who was stronger or who could take more punishment. It came down to sharp timing, high-level awareness, and being better prepared. Stevenson made a proven champion look basic without showboating or taking unnecessary risks, and that kind of quiet control is about as ruthless as it gets.
Saw how hard you trained in there. It showed in the ring, the discipline, the shape you were in. You had great cardio. Looked like you could have gone, 18 rounds.
I could have. That was easy. I actually was picking it up as it go, but Teo, he fought to not get stopped, so respect to him.
Wait, so respect for fighting to not get stopped?
I mean, he could have got stopped in there. It was almost over at a couple of times.
Isn't that more respect, maybe? If you,
I mean, he's a tough fighter. Yeah. He got power too, speed too.
So that cut you opened up, that was what, precision?
That was me just being the best. Hey, Mike, we about to get...
So when you step back and put the pieces together, Crawford calling out the disrespect, Teofimo speaking afterward like a man forced to look inward, and Shakur putting on a clinic, it doesn't really feel like random timing anymore. It feels like the sport doing what it always does. You can say whatever you want outside the ropes, but sooner or later, the ring is the one place where everything gets answered for real.
Just what was it like in there? How come you didn't really feel like you could get into the rhythm and such? I mean, just your perspective on it.
Yeah, I think I was just honestly too focused on one particular objective, one particular thing, than really enjoying what I could see opening. I was catching him a lot with the body shots a lot, so I think that was one of my effective arsenals that was getting him every time. But I think just more combinations, especially finishing with left hooks and stuff. I did poorly on not listening to my team. That's on me. Take it on the chin.
And right after Shakur turned that fight into a real-time lesson in timing, control, and space, Teofimo Lopez Sr. came out to speak, and he sounded like someone trying to describe a hurricane after it already tore through the city. What stood out immediately was a contradiction. He started off implying everything was okay, but within seconds, his words made it obvious that nothing went the way they expected. He kept circling back to sparring, to the drills, to the strategy they prepared, and that's where the first real crack showed. Because when Teofimo Sr. says, he didn't do what I told him, what he's really admitting is that the game plan never made it past the first few minutes once it ran into Shakur's mind.
The sparring sessions were like what motivated me to this fight. That I was 100% sure we was gonna win. For some reason, the game plan, my son didn't do what I told him he was supposed to do.
You could hear the irritation in his voice when he started talking about rhythm, about trying to stop Shakur from doing what Shakur always does. And honestly, that single point explains the entire problem. Because if you can't disrupt Stevenson's tempo, you're basically fighting his fight the whole night. Senior also threw out the idea that outside noise played a role. The media coverage, the online talk, even discussions about what might be next. And to be fair, That's not an impossible explanation, but it also reveals something deeper without him even meaning to. This didn't feel like Teofimo getting beat because he was weaker or out of shape. It felt like he got beat mentally. And when Senior says it looked like the power wasn't there, it doesn't sound like tired legs to me. It sounds like doubt. It sounds like hesitation.
How you gonna fight, a fight when everybody wants you to lose? You understand what I'm saying? And I don't know what happened. It just looked like all his powers were not there. Like everything was like that we planned, everything that he did in sparring, everything that we planned to do was not there.
And when Teofimo Sr. starts stressing that his son wasn't beat up and that he still went the full 12 rounds, that doesn't come off like a tactical breakdown. That sounds like a father trying to protect his son's pride, because a coach usually talks about adjustments, mistakes, and what went wrong in the moment. But Senior kept framing it like surviving the distance was proof the fight wasn't as bad as it looked. The most revealing part, though, is when he basically admits Teofimo can be thrown off mentally. And Shakur didn't even need to hurt him early to do it. He didn't have to drop him or rock him. He just had to make him unsure. And Senior keeps pushing the idea that people wanted his son to lose, like the pressure came from the outside. But in boxing, the real pressure doesn't come from fans, headlines, or commentary. It comes from the man in front of you taking away your choices. Even the moment he points to in the 8th round, where he suggests Shakur was hurt, feels like a stretch, because Shakur reset almost instantly and went right back to controlling the fight.
All the greats have lost and they have come back and they have done great. So, we're here and we're gonna stay. He's still 28 years old. He's still not in his prime, and we're coming back stronger than ever. Next time I think he's ready to go to 147.
Then Teofimo Sr. shift the conversation to moving up to 147. The typical post-defeat reset. Bigger weight, new challenges, a fresh start. But here's the hard truth. Gaining pounds doesn't fix reaction time, focus, or the ability to adapt under pressure. You can hear Senior's loyalty, emotion, and protectiveness for his son, but he keeps circling around explanations that dodge the most obvious point. Shakur didn't win because Teofimo stumbled or failed. Shakur won because his mind was sharper, faster, and already 2 steps ahead before Teofimo even began processing the fight.
We hurt Shakur, I think in the 8th round, and he was hurt for about 2 rounds and he let him come back. The whole plan was not to exchange with him. The whole plan was not to box with him. But I guess, it worked to Shakur's benefit, and congratulations to him and to his team. And we got to move to better things, you know what I'm saying? It's not the end of the world. Regroup and come back. He's the greatest. He's one of the greatest fighters right now in the business. And let's see what happens, in the future.
Right after Teofimo Sr. frames the loss like a technical glitch rather than a decisive takeover, Tim Bradley steps in and essentially says, "You're still missing the real point." Bradley isn't questioning that Shakur won. He's pointing out how little of Shakur's full ability was actually on display. That's what makes it striking. When he calls it not the complete package, it's not hype, it's a caution. He's sizing up Shakur the way seasoned pros once evaluated young bud, still in the loading phase. Bradley ties it to Shakur's confidence rather than raw power. He's essentially saying that Stevenson already reads everything, reacts to everything, and counters everything. But he hasn't yet fully flipped the switch to say, "I'm done playing around." And that, in itself, is a chilling insight.
Still growing as a fighter. He's still growing as a man. He's not even at his peak yet. Let me say that again. He's not at his peak yet. The minute Shakur gets confident enough, because you heard it after when he was just like, I could have stopped him, but he started fighting back. The minute he gets confident enough, man, I'm telling y'all, he gonna stop a lot of fighters.
Bradley points out that Shakur himself admitted he could have finished Teofimo earlier, but opted for control instead. That detail makes it clear this wasn't a fight he merely survived. It was one he actively managed. Every time Teofimo tried to make a move, Bradley notes, he was met with a counter. Each time he tried to unload power, he hesitated. At one point, Bradley even says Teofimo reverted to an amateur mindset, not from forgetting how to fight, but because his brain was overwhelmed. That's the hallmark of elite performance. Bradley then draws a striking comparison to Terence Crawford. Not about knockout power or brutality, but the point at which Crawford decides is done testing his opponent and ends the fight on his terms. That, Bradley suggests, is the trajectory Shakur is on, not fully realized yet, but approaching. Here's the contrast with Teofimo Senior's analysis. Senior focuses on plans, rhythm, and execution. Bradley focuses on inevitability. One examines what happened, the other predicts what's coming. If Bradley is correct, the Shakur we just witnessed wasn't his peak, it was a preview. And that's a daunting prospect for anyone in the division.
Shakur turned Teofimo Lopez into an amateur fighter. Didn't even leave first gear. This is not the best Shakur Stevenson. I'm telling you guys. I said this after the Cepeda fight. When Shakur put it all together, I'ma tell y'all when he puts it all together. When he put it all together, I promise you, it's gonna be crazy. Y'all gonna be like, oh my God. Yeah. Shakur Stevenson, Terence Crawford. I didn't have to be in the ring with Terence Crawford.
Brian McIntyre shifts the perspective entirely, focusing not on excuses but on mastery. When he describes Shakur Stevenson's performance as a masterpiece, it comes across as a coach recognizing flawless execution, not hype. He immediately directs the lesson to younger fighters, essentially saying, if you want to learn how boxing should be done, watch this and take notes. McIntyre emphasizes that he expected Shakur to dominate from the moment the fight was announced. This isn't a slight on Teofimo, it's an acknowledgement of how elite-level styles interact. He then breaks down the corner dynamics, noting that whatever Teofimo attempted simply couldn't succeed. It's not that mistakes were made, there were no openings at all. Finally, McIntyre reinforces that Shakur's edge comes from his boxing intellect, echoing what Tim Bradley highlighted earlier. This fight wasn't about raw speed or brute force, it was about processing, reacting, and outthinking an opponent at a higher level.
The masterpiece, man. He looked so smooth, calm, and relaxed, man. That was beautiful. That was the one boxing lesson that you future guys, young guys and amateurs just turning pro, watch that, man. That was beautiful.
When you were watching it, did you feel right away Shakur's gonna run away with this?
Well, I kind of figured that when they said they was gonna fight each other, so I knew Shakur was gonna dominate him, but they must hype the fight up.
Bomac even quips that the smartest strategy against Shakur might simply be to keep your distance. And truthfully, that might be the most accurate assessment anyone's offered so far. What makes this analysis truly compelling is how smoothly Bomac transitions to discussing Terence Crawford. When he says Bud has nothing left to prove, it comes across as earned praise, not sentimental fluff. 3 undisputed title runs, dominance across weight classes, and walking away before the sport catches up. That's mastery of boxing itself, not just defeating opponents. Bomac also highlights the way he worked with Crawford, treating it like a classroom. That detail matters because it underscores the direct link between Bud's training environment and how it's shaping Shakur's development. While Teofimo's camp is still focused on adjusting and regrouping, Bomac is thinking in terms of eras. Shakur at 135, 140, and potentially higher. Crawford may be moving into retirement, but the same system that honed him is now guiding Shakur. The takeaway is clear. Shakur's performance wasn't a fluke. It was a lesson in elite boxing.
Then just the way he dominates this fighter. There's never been a fight that Terence had that's been suspect or they wanted to run it back or something like that. There's not one fighter. Most of the fighters that he fought, he ended their career. Or they never was the same fighter after he fought them. Just look at it. Look at it, man. The last 3 guys, man, look what he did to them. The last 4 or 5 guys. Jesus Christ.
When you put all the pieces together, the picture becomes unmistakable. Terence Crawford set the tone and enforced the standards. Shakur Stevenson responded in the only way that truly counts, inside the ring, and the rest of the world is still processing the impact. Teofimo didn't simply lose. He faced a moment where preparation, skill, identity, and reality all collided simultaneously. His father is still searching for answers. Tim Bradley points out that this isn't even Shakur's full potential. And BMAC calmly explains that this is how elite boxing looks when talent meets discipline. The pattern is clear. This wasn't chaos, controversy, or luck. It was separation. Shakur didn't need theatrics, brute force, or loud displays to dominate. He just needed space and timing. Once given that, the division suddenly felt smaller. What's striking is that everyone involved communicates the same truth in different ways. This isn't Shakur at his peak yet. That's not hype, it's a projection. And no matter if Teofimo moves up to 147 or chooses another path, it won't erase what just occurred. Boxing has a long memory, and it doesn't forget the lessons it teaches.
All I had to do was watch with my eyes one and hear the same thing that I said about Crawford, the way Crawford said about Shakur, and how confident he is in Shakur because he's been in the ring with Shakur and he knows what Shakur can do. That's all.
Now it's your turn. Share your take in the comments. Get into it. Do you think this was purely skill, mindset, karma, or a mix of everything colliding at once? And don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe for more boxing breakdowns. Catch you in the next one.